Hello YouTube, it's Western Kansas Prepper. It's time for another review of the show Doomsday Preppers. This time it's episode number 11. Here we are with 3 new preppers, and I'll go through them in order of who I think is the least to most prepared. And we'll also then put them on the big board for all the preppers we've seen so far in season 1. And actually this lady is not the first one I'm going to talk about. The first one I'm going to talk about is this guy. And I'm calling him the most prepared person in the world, or that's the MPPITW, if you need to abbreviate that. And I'm calling him that because that's what he calls himself. He, on the show, says that he's one of the most prepared people in the world. So, thought I'd go ahead and give him credit on that. It's quite the accomplishment to gain that title. However, I did not think he was the most prepared person in the season, in the show, in the episode he was in, or even probably on his street. He stated the show stated he spent $100,000 on preps. So, I don't know. I mean, we only saw the preps he had on the show, which weren't that extensive. So, I don't know. Maybe he's got other things he spent money on that we didn't see. So maybe he's more prepared than he appeared to be in the show. In the show, he did not appear to be... I was not a big fan. And I'll just go a little further on that. This is some of the preps that they showed on the show. This is just a little bin, with... appears to me to be about, 12 cans of propane. The little 5-liter ones. He's got 2 bigger ones over there of propane. That's more propane than I got in my shelter right now. I mean, I think I'll have that much eventually. Of course, that's not $100,000 worth of propane. Those 2 propane tanks will run you about $60 a piece, and then maybe or $40 to $60. And then those little ones are about $5 a piece. He's got, looks like to me, that appears to be a generator to me right there, and maybe a couple of aquatanners. So, great. He's got a few aquatanners and a generator. Did not see any guns whatsoever. Then he goes out and pans for gold in the Ohio River, which I think I would have thought would have been depleted to gold probably 200 years ago or so, maybe 150 years ago. Yet, I guess he finds a little scrap of something that he takes to the dealer, who apparently confirms it's about $6 worth of gold that he spent all day looking for. So, that's great. Great plan he has there to pan for gold. I don't know. It seems a little bizarre to me. You go to Alaska and some caves and stuff and want to start digging, okay. Panning in the Ohio River, I think it's probably not a good place to do that. This is his wife, who appeared to be very distraught through the whole show. I don't know if they just told her stuff to make her cry and then put her back on camera or what, but she appeared to really be... The producers appeared to want to show that this, essentially his prepping obsession was tearing the family apart, was the message they wanted to send. Whether that's true or not, or just an artifact of the producers and the way that they cut the film, I don't know. They might have cut it that way. I will say, it appears even his own admission is that he essentially ruined his finances focusing on this stuff. And if you're preparing, that's one thing. But preparing shouldn't mean you ruin yourself financially. Being prepared means being prepared economically and financially too. You're not going to be able to work your whole life. You need to be able to save up some for retirement, assuming shit doesn't hit the fan. So, being a prepared individual doesn't mean you believe you only count on the apocalypse, and then if the apocalypse doesn't happen, your retirement is fucked. That's not the way to do this. That appears to be the way this guy did this, so it ain't good. He owns this little storefront here, somewhere in this little town in Ohio, I guess. And then, you can probably figure it out where it is from that sign right there. Focusing on it, something like optimizes.me wet design. I don't know, something. You probably could find where that shop is actually based on that picture. They go to the store. He's got a few bags of camping gear, it looks like. They're not even that full. At least the ones on the left aren't. Got a couple of sleeping bags, looks like. Takes the kids down there. This is his bug-out plan, his bug-out location. Is in town in this basement. I mean, looks like he'd never been down there before. You know, it looks like just a bunch of trash down there from somebody else being there. So it's not like he's prepared this space at all. In addition to the fact that it's probably a bad location because it's in the middle of a town. Not only is it bad location-wise, but it appears to be a bad structure just because there's nothing else there. I mean, he could make this into a well-prepared space if he wanted to. It doesn't appear like he's there yet. It doesn't appear like he's the most prepared person in the world by the look of this basement that is his plan to bug out to. That's not a prepared space. So that's that guy who, I don't think was prepared for much of anything other than he had some stuff he'd spent money on. His kids, weren't that prepared either. They didn't like it. They didn't know anything about his preps hardly. There's plenty of preppers on this show that have taught their kids how to do things. Taught their kids to use weapons, taught them when to bug out and how to do it. This guy's kids didn't seem to know any of that stuff. So it is what it is. To him in a second. This lady and her boyfriend / husband, whatever he was, it's actually not, doesn't look like that on my screen, but trying to get this to adjust a little bit. I'm calling them the Ex-Biker Valentines. Because they stated they sold their motorcycle, to help them prep. And she's got some pretty good food preps. That's a pretty nice little stockade she's got going. I mean, there's a lot of number 10 cans you can see down there on the right. There's, I don't know what's in the food grade buckets, but she's got those with some Gamma Seal lids. She's got plenty of toilet paper, she stated. She's got a lot of cans there. I mean, that's a good little pantry full of preps. I'm definitely not as well stocked as she is on this stuff, but that's good. That's a good start on that. She likes her giant, I think that's a 44 Magnum, Dirty Harry's gun. That's fine if you'd like to have a 44 Magnum. I'm not sure that you need that to defend your home, or that's even the best gun to defend your home with, but that's what she's got. And they had some other guns laying around the house ready to use, which was good. They don't have kids, so they don't have to worry about where they're putting them, so that's fine with, if that's where they're going to put them. So they had some preps on guns. Now, they appeared to have just a bunch of pistols. I don't know if they had, they had rifles and shotguns or what as far as other weapons go. So I don't know. They also are burying silver in their yard, which I'm not a big precious metals guy. I mean, it's a nice little inflation hedge if you think you're going into hyperinflation. If we're really in a just balls out, shit hits the fan situation, I don't think anybody's going to give a shit about gold and silver. It's going to be ammo. Okay, sorry about the little interruption there. But this girl lady was burying silver. Next thing is I guess that's the end of that. When she came home, then her husband bought her this shipping container. Now, something that bothers me is their whole plan. The plan appeared to be, we're going to take this shipping container and bury it in our backyard, and that's going to be where we're going to flee to if our home is taken over. And also, if our home is taken over, we can just sneak to the back corner of the residence and get our buried silver. I'm sorry, that's not a realistic plan. It ain't. If the people have taken your home by force, or there's no other, for a number of reasons, I think your bug out location should be further than your backyard. But beyond that, if they've taken your house by force, I don't think you're going to be able to hold this shipping container. It's just not going to work. You're going to need to go further away than that. They're not going to let you stay there and ambush them repeatedly. I guess conceivably you might conceal it for a while or something, but that's just not a good plan. Sorry. It's not. And as I said, that brings us to the first guy